There is no study on an archaeological level because they haven't done it, because we would have seen it.
Community members pushing back against plans for the new planned prison in Franklin County. We'll have the latest on the efforts at the state capitol.
And it's going to be a windy and warm day today. Daytime highs reaching up into the 70s, even into the 80s in some places. But those winds, they'll be strong. That's coming up.
Plus, details on a new Arkansas law to expand medical care coverage for breast cancer patients.
A live look outside in Bentonville. Good Wednesday morning to you. Sunrise is beautiful. 5 News This Morning starts now.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News This Morning.
Well, good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on 5 News. It's Wednesday, so we're halfway through the weekend so far. Have you noticed? Unlike last week, it's been a good week so far.
I feel like the sunny weeks are the ones that go by too fast. Like I feel like last week dragged on a little bit, and this week is just fine.
Smooth sailing, Steven.
Smooth sailing, enjoying this nice weather, hoping it stays here forever. And at least in the short term, it's going to be here through the weekend at least. That's some good news for us. Lots of sunshine out there once again today. The one headline that we have to deal with today, though, is that those winds going to be on the stronger side, might be a little bit annoying at some points throughout the day. Outside of that, though, just a really gorgeous day today. Warmest day so far this week as well. And another day where we're starting off with plenty of sunshine out there. Current temperature is much warmer than what it's been like over the past few mornings, starting off into those 40s and 50s so far. Good morning to you there in Berryville, 48 degrees currently, 49 there in Rogers. Good morning to you there in Alma. Charleston at 45 as well, 46 there in Greenwood this morning. Winds are light right now. That's going to change here in the next few hours. Those wind gusts start to pick back up. I think at its peak, we could see those wind gusts right around 30 to 45 miles per hour there in northwest Arkansas. Across the river valley, anywhere between 20 up to 30 miles per hour will be possible for the mid-morning into the early afternoon. It looks like this. Those strong winds coming up from the south, that's going to boost our afternoon highs. Good news is by the time we get to this evening, those winds starting to die down. Northwest Arkansas all day long, going to see that sunshine. Daytime highs mid-70s for you today. Across the river valley, we're starting off into the 40s, but by the time we get late this afternoon, some low 80s out there. Let's get a check of traffic as you head out the door this morning. Here's a live look out there across I-540 there at Kelly Highway. Good morning to you there. Traffic moving along just fine. No accidents so far this morning across the river valley or in northwest Arkansas. That drive into work or heading to school shouldn't be too bad.
All right, looking good out there. You see that sunrise?
Yeah,
oh,
beautiful.
That was beautiful. All right, new this morning, Forceman City leaders looking for ways to shift the budget to help cover the cost of some big upgrades to the sewer system.
Yeah, Morgan, it sounds like one possible plan that they discussed has sparked some debate.
Yeah, and as we know, the city's been under pressure to comply with that federal consent decree that will require major sewer upgrades that would cost hundreds of millions. Well, this week, the board of directors took a closer look at where spending could be cut to help meet those obligations. Director Jared Rigo pitched what he calls the Curbing Unrestricted Taxpayer Spending Package, a plan that he says could free up more than $7 million this year. He suggests reducing budgets in 13 departments that receive money from the Water and Sewer Operating Fund. Those include departments like Human Resources, Planning and Zoning, and the Mayor's Office. Rigo says it's about making sure every possible dollar goes toward fixing the city's aging sewer system.
The cuts proposal should not be thought of as an alternative budget. Its purpose is to move us beyond the slow veneering of phrases like tighten the belt and begin the hard work of considering difficult choices. I started this process with a simple question. By working within the framework of the adopted 2025 budget and placing a uniform reduction on 13 departments that receive dollars from the Water and Sewer Fund, could more dollars be made available for consent decree work?
But not everyone on the board agrees with that approach. Some say that they think cuts should be more strategic and say that it's important to get input from department heads before cutting budgets. For now, the city's still negotiating to extend the consent decree deadline to 2036. And in the meantime, budget talks will continue in the weeks ahead. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
All right, thanks so much for that this morning, Morgan. Well, now to the latest on the proposed Franklin County prison. More people coming forward claiming the state has not done its due diligence to confirm if there is a burial site located on this proposed land.
This comes after the $750 million bill to fund the prison They'll for a 5th time in the Senate on Tuesday.
The Department of Corrections did a site assessment, they say, of this land back when it was first announced that the prison would be located there. Well, since then, members of the Chickamauga tribe have come forward saying that the land is a burial site for their ancestors dating back decades.
While the state says that they have not found any evidence of burial sites, residents who live across the street say that they have not seen any evidence of excavators to confirm whether or not the land does have stone graves.
Trucks that have been in and out of here, which I have pictures of, are work trucks. They're putting up signs. They're cleaning the road. They're fixing the driveway. There is no study on an archaeological level because they haven't done it because we would have seen it.
Well, we reached out to the Arkansas Historic Preservation Program to confirm whether there has been an extensive search for evidence of a burial site in their archaeological survey, with no response.
Meanwhile, Senator Joshua Bryant from Benton County introduced a separate bill this week that would set aside money that has already been allocated to fund prison projects. It would take funding from the State Securities Reserve Fund to use on correctional facilities in 2025 and 2026. That bill has been referred to a committee for review. Well, this morning, the Fort Smith School District has a new superintendent. On Tuesday, the school board decided to select Deputy Superintendent Marty Mahan among 3 finalists to replace Dr. Terry Morawski, who's leaving at the end of the school year.
I thought we had 3 really good finalists, and any of them would make good superintendents. And I really appreciate the board's involvement and detail in moving us in what we believe is the right direction. So thank you all.
Terms of Mahan's contract will be worked out in a few weeks in another special board meeting. Well, Mahan has held several leadership roles during his career in the district. These include Executive Director of Human Resources, as well as principal positions at Northside High School and Kimmons Junior High.
Well, women battling breast cancer now have less of a fight against insurance companies for reconstructive surgery.
5 News reporter Jacob Luthi has more about a new Arkansas state law that doctors say is crucial for survivors.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders recently signed Act 424 into law, expanding the types of breast reconstruction surgeries insurance companies in Arkansas are required to cover, most notably the deep flap surgery.
You take skin and fatty tissue from the woman's abdomen and create breast tissue from that on her chest. That's still her own tissue, but doesn't compromise her muscle function at all.
Dr. Whitney Davidson with Mercy Hospital says surgeries like this are an extension of cancer care.
It's not a vanity thing. It's not that these ladies want to look a certain way and are looking for plastic surgery on the insurance company's dime to, not cosmetic surgery. This is a part of their cancer care. It's attempting to make them whole after they've had to have part of their body removed.
Arkansas State Senator Joshua Bryant, the bill's sponsor, says he heard numerous concerns from constituents having to travel to other states just so insurance companies could cover the procedure.
If you listen to the testimony of the survivors that were denied this coverage, that were waiting for this coverage, that went out of state, some distances of several thousand miles to be able to afford their portion of this surgery, it was time for us to address this issue and bring it here. And
Davidson adds that the new law helps make Arkansas a prime destination for medical care.
What this does is bring what is becoming more and more a standard of care type of operation to our state. It provides better options for our patients, and it provides the opportunity to bring more and more specialists who are, on the front edge of breast cancer care to Arkansas.
While money is one thing, Brian says the quality of life for those able to receive the care they need closer to home is what matters most.
when you go out of state, you get disconnected from your loved ones, from your resources here locally. You have to do continuum care out of state. So it really made no sense. And there really was no good reason financially to send them out of the states, other than they just did not want to pay for the surgery here in Arkansas.
Covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
In other news, if you're in Fort Smith area, maybe you could hear some F-35 jets in the night sky this week. That's because nighttime flight operations are underway at the 188. Polish pilots are training there in Fort Smith as part of the Foreign Military Sales Program. Those with the 188 say that the night training will likely continue into next week. Developing this morning, the search for survivors continue in the Dominican Republic after the roof of a nightclub caved during a concert early Tuesday. Dozens of people were killed and more than 160 hospitalized. Major League pitcher Octavio Dodo is among the dead.
Reciprocal tariff rates kicked in for much of the world overnight, including China, which will be subject to a tariff of 104%. The president says leaders from Japan and South Korea are heading to the U.S. to negotiate. Vietnam and Zimbabwe have said that they'd scrape tariffs on U.S. products. The EU has said that it will also eliminate tariffs on industrial goods and cars if the U.S. does the same.
It's still early innings in seeing what the final shape of tariff policy for the United States is going to be.
Well, imported produce was largely spared, most coming from Canada and Mexico, which have been exempted. But food industry experts warn some prices may rise quickly for some perishable staples like bananas.